Welcome to BootSpy. My name's William. Today I'm going to be reviewing Venetian leather balm. I have a full grain vegetable tan leather boot here, and then this is the Horween 1000 mile with Horween Chromexcel. And I'm going to treat both of these boots with Venetian shoe cream and then give you kind of like a before and after on how it acts with both of these types of leather. Let's get into it. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you're curious about this boot, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below because the next video coming out is going to be all about this boot and why I think it's going to kill off the Thursday captain. So while you're at it, please give me a thumbs up too. It's really helpful for the channel and I really appreciate it. As I said, I'm taking a look at Venetian shoe cream and I'm going to use it on this full grain vegetable tan leather, and I'm also going to use it on Horween Chromexcel on this Horween 1000 mile. I'm going to give you that before and after so you can really tell whether this product is right for you. But I will say that this has kind of become my go-to for pretty much all of my boots. Now, I've used this on my Iron Rangers. I've used it on these. I've used it on Thursdays. I've used it on these Wolverines. So, you know, it's a really great all-around product. And I'm going to get into some of the pros and cons of using Venetian. To start, it's not really clear what's in Venetian shoe cream. It's basically just a bunch of oils and waxes. They don't have any information because it's kind of a proprietary formula. So they don't tell you what's in it, but it does come highly recommended by Horween for their Chromexcel leather. So we know that it works on chrome tan or mixed chrome and vegetable tan leathers. And then we're going to find out whether it works on pure vegetable tan leathers as well. Now I'm going to kind of do a very basic boot treatment on both of these. To start off, I took out the laces so you can kind of get all the way up into the upper here. And then I also used a wet rag to clean off the sole and gave it a brush down with this, just kind of like that, just to make sure that all the dirt was off the top so you're not scratching the leather or pushing more dirt into the leather. So this is going to be a pretty simple process. I shook this up a lot because it does settle. And so you need to kind of shake it back up, but I'm just going to take a pretty fair amount. That's probably a little bit too much, actually. I'll take that and then just rub it into the boot. All right, so I applied a pretty liberal amount here. So it's got quite a thick layer on it. I'm gonna take this horsehair brush and then basically buff it out. And that is all you really need to do with Venetian shoe cream for like a really basic boot care system. That's gonna take care of a lot of the scratches. That's gonna rehydrate the leather, and it's gonna do the same for this Chromexcel boot as well. All right, so there you have it. That is this vegetable tanned leather boot. It has been treated with Venetian shoe cream. I'm gonna let that sit. I'm gonna let that rest. Those oils are going to sink in. I'm gonna get a little bit more of this. In the eyelets, I got a little Venetian in there. But yeah, I'm gonna let that sit. It's gonna look a little bit darker than it was when I first started, but it does tend to lighten up considerably over the course of like 2 or 3 days. It'll continue to lighten up, so it doesn't actually change the color too much. So now that we have that one done, I'm gonna move on to the Horween Chromexcel. This is the Horween 1000 mile, and then this is the Cordovan number 8 colorway. So it's quite a nice, rich oxblood type burgundy color. And you might notice there's a few scratches here on the toe, and then there are some scratches along the heel as well. So I'm definitely gonna be watching out for those and hoping that this Venetian shoe cream takes those scuffs out, or at least reduces their appearance. That's the Horween Chromexcel leather treated with Venetian shoe cream. Here's that before and after. As you can see, it took the boot maybe 1 shade darker, but it's really not that noticeable. It did reduce those scuffs. I took those out so you can't really notice those anymore. And one of the biggest things I'm noticing though is that the leather has softened a good amount. So this does help you break in the boots. It does help you soften the leather. So I recommend when you get a new pair of boots with Horween Chromexcel, this also works with like Thursday chrome leather, any boot that uses Horween Chromexcel, including the Wolverine 1000 Mile, that pick up some Venetian alongside with it. And then after the first week or two of wearing it, just hit it with the Venetian shoe balm. That's going to help soften the leather. It's going to keep it moist while you're walking around and kind of breaking it in for that first week. And then I would just treat it with Venetian every time it starts to scuff, or every 3 months or so, whichever one kind of comes sooner, and depending on how much you want these to look scuff free. But yeah, I'll probably use it once every 2 to 3 months just to keep the leather in top quality, tip-top shape. Here are my thoughts on Venetian shoe balm. Now, what I like about this product here is that it works equally well on vegetable tan leather and combination tan leather like Horween Chromexcel. That makes it pretty much, I don't have to have too many products in my shoe care box, because I can use this across the board on my Red Wings, on my Wolverines, on these boots, on my Thursdays. You just don't need, this is one bottle, it's what I need. I can use it on some of my wife's purses and stuff like that. So it really helps across the board. It's such a versatile option, and so I highly recommend it for that. The second thing I like about Venetian is that it does not darken the leather too much. With the Chromexcel, it darkened it maybe a shade. Vegetable tan, it darkened it 2 or 3 shades, but again, you walk around for 2 or 3 days and it lightens back up pretty much to the original color that you had when you first bought the boot. Third thing that I like is the price is pretty reasonable compared to some of the competition. This is right up there with Saphir Renovateur, and that's like Saphir, that's like 3 times more expensive than Venetian. So for what you're getting, and Venetian is a little bit more expensive than some of the other less pricey competition out there. But I think in terms of quality, just the amount that you're not darkening the leather and how much this really moisturizes it, Venetian is pretty much, in my opinion, the best value. What I don't like about Venetian is that we're not really sure what's in it. Of course, it's a proprietary substance, and so a lot of companies don't reveal what they put in it. But it does have some petroleum products. You can kind of tell a little bit from the smell that comes off of it. It's not too big of a deal. But if you're keeping this in a shoebox, you might open it up, instead of getting like rich leather, you're getting kind of a waft of some petrol smell. So that's kind of one downside there. The only other downside is that it does kind of clump up a little bit. So you have to make sure that you mix it really, really well. Even after mixing it for a while, it still came out a little bit clumpy. So you have to be careful when you're applying it, that you're getting an even spread so that you don't get any spots that are like extra dark and some that are not so conditions, so you got to watch out for that. My final verdict on Venetian shoe cream, I absolutely recommend that everyone, if you want to take good care of your boots, like you saw with these, that's all it takes to really do a great job and keep your boots going for a decade. If they're solid, well-built boots, you don't really have to do too much. Again, just brushing the dirt off, hitting it with this to keep it moisturized, keep the leather moisturized. That's all you really need to do, and Venetian does an excellent job, super versatile across so many different types of leather. So I definitely recommend it. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button down below and also give me a thumbs up. Super helpful. I really appreciate it. And until next time, put your best boot forward.